Okay, good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to our Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A warm welcome to our Abort Master, Brother Joe Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brother sister around the world. So today I'm Sister Mabel. I will be doing the opening today. Okay, let's start. Okay, I will be sharing a short exception from Master's speech. Title, Walking Step by Step, Steadily Bearing the World Responsibility. So for nearly 6 decades, we have walked steadily step by step on the path of 64 mission and 8 footprints. With great dedication, our leaders shoulder the responsibility of the world. I am sincerely grateful to the 4 missions for harmoniously benefiting all beings. Hearing and seeing this, my heart is deeply moved. What more could one seek in life? There is nothing left to desire. Firstly, I give thanks for the first single thoughts in the past. Without that beginning, there would be no 4 mission and 8 footprints. Above all, gratitude to the 4 mission for uniting the master hearts, aligning in vow and will, bringing Sati to where it is today. Accepted from Master Speech Volunteer Morning Assembly on 21st April. Okay, so Kan'en for Master Teaching. So now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 direction. May the Sahel land be free from disaster and peace will be well in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piety. Let's put our hands together, our palms together.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
Okay, so may all minds be purified, may there be peace in the community, and may there be no disaster in this world. Okay, next one. Let us say the prayer for universal love and blessing. Let's put our palms together. So, with loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our life a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and total fulfillment in universal love. Now, let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe, and let us unify our love and make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Okay, so before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our Dharma Master to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respect for this teaching and explanation to the Buddha and Master Chen Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Okay, so let's please rise, put our palms together. First bow, second bow, and third bow. And a bow to our beloved Abode Master who joined us today. Okay. Okay, so next one, on to our agenda today. So today we have Brother Joe Huang for our Dharma Insight, Brother David Liu for Su Ching Q&A, and Sister Riyani for empowering refugees through cash-based intervention. Okay, so on to you, to Sister Moon.
Yeah. Okay. Sister Stephanie, you help me to share.
Yes. Okay, Kanan.
Yeah, good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm Sister Moon, and I will be reading the Dharma poem that is every week wonderfully composed by Sister Su Ching from the sharing of the previous week. Right. I will start with Brother Joe's Dharma Insights from last week. Brother Joe shared how Dharma must fill our soul, not drawn like blades, but flowing as a whole. Chapter 6 speaks, from students we must rise to become good teachers, kind and truly wise. Through flaws and falls, betterment, self-betterment is found. Adjust, amend, let wisdom shine unbound. Knowledge and heart together form the way to teach the next generation and brighten up their day. Dharma's mirror still and crystal bright. Reflecting truth, then vanishing from sight. Chapter 8 sings praises with fragrance sweet, lingering long where silent virtues meet. The Buddha's mind stays steady through all fears, unmoved by storms, untouched by mortal tears. With thoughts stilled quiet, flowing pure and free, we walk the path of eternal truth and pure clarity. The next is shared by Sister Ajing, as we fondly call her, on the topic of heart-to-heart with Master Chen Yen. Sister Su Ching rose with dreams so vast and wide, to build a healing home with love as a guide. Life struck with trials, fears and sharp in flight. Her husband's battle marked the darkest night. The factory blazed, her heart was set on flame. Yet she stayed strong, refusing fear or shame. She prayed as smoke curled high into the skies and begged the heavens with tear-blinded eyes. We can have the next page.
Yes, already, sister.
Can we have the next page?
Already, sister. Already on the next page.
Oh, okay. Her house was spared. The gods had heard her plea. In ashes deep, she found new strength to be. Neighbors cried harder while she soothed their grief, teaching with courage that pain can be brief. Clients repaid with hands both swift and kind, returning debts with heart and peace of mind. Though flames devoured the wealth she's once amassed, her family's love stood firm and held steadfast. Sister Su Ching smiled through every fallen tear, knowing true treasure was forever near. Through trials she built a soul none could sever, a spirit shining on, and then forever. The following one is by Brother Victor and Sister Janet from USA on happy learning and forgetting about age. Is a very happy topic indeed. Brother Victor and Sister Janet shared a class where young and old hands entwined. This class at California, where lively hearts and hopes combined. Songs and ribbon dances moved with flowing art. Elastic games and smiles were curated as a joyful start. Hand-eye rhythms stretch both mind and frame. Singing, sharing, all are glad they came. Learned scholars too, with wisdom vast and deep, find in new beginnings and then promises to keep. Some with PhDs now humbly join the Su Ching volunteer way, vowing to serve, never too old to give their hearts away. Each gathering is filmed and shared so families far can see their elders shining, purposefully interacting, and living mindfully. This elder class is a bridge from heart to heart, a true blue community project where all may play a part. Neighbors worldwide can grow from seeds once sown. As lifespans rise all over the world, the need for this is known. Classes bloom where giving and learning gently meet, starting a lasting cycle where love finds its beat. In this initiative, age becomes a gift, not a heavy wall, a home of kindness, welcoming elders and truly embracing all. Ganon, brothers and sisters.
Ganon, Sister Moon, for reading the beautiful poem. Next, we have Brother Joe to share with us this morning. Brother Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Sister Carping. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. And that was a beautifully recited poem. Thank you. And for, I think, being diligent. I think everybody, I appreciate everyone for being diligent and always staying close to the Dharma and staying close to the heart. Now, whether it's age or whether it's distance that's sort of making us different or separating us, I think Dharma and our heart and our mind should always be the same. We should stick close to Dharma. We should stick close to what Master teaches us. I think that's very important. Thank you for the beautifully written and beautifully recited poem. Today, we're going to continue our journey in the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. We've been doing this for, I think for about nearly 20 iterations already. Every week, I try to bring a little bit of the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, and we move a little bit forward. We're still in the first book, and we're still in chapter 1, which is virtues. We've been here for a while, and the reason I think it's important is because I think we need to always be reminded of what was happening before. So we would spend more time building on what was before than heading on to the next part, because there will always be more before than the new, because the new is right now, but before is accumulation of all the past iterations. And I think that's important also. So today we continue, but before we do that, let's talk about what we talked about before. So in chapter one, we have already gone through many sections. All these sections we can briefly talk about before. In the past 3 times, I think we just gone through the last few sections in terms of review. So today we're going to go through it again from the very top. In chapter 1, we were talking about the importance of the Dharma lineage being passed down, the teaching being passed down. And we started with tens of thousands of people came before the Buddha. And I think one of the key takeaways from this section was that the Buddha was preparing the disciples and all the listeners for the future. I think this is important in that in order for the Dharma to be passed on to the future, that the disciples must be prepared. They must know that they are the key to the future of the Dharma. The Dharma will not sustain itself. It requires people. It's the people that passes the Dharma, not the Dharma itself. So in order for the Dharma to continue to be sustainable, be sustained to the future, the students must be ready. So the first section prepares us to know that that's what's to come for the future. The next section talks about all the 80,000 Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. In fact, all the people and all the listeners and all the followers and everyone. And this section talks about why the Dharma itself can survive. I mean, we're not talking about people. If the disciples, if the followers of Dharma did their jobs to make sure that the Dharma is passed on to the future, how is the Dharma itself able to fit? Well, the answer is very clear. In this section, we know that the Dharma fits all people, all different castes, all different backgrounds, all the differences of all the sentient beings out there. It all fits. The Dharma will actually fit for all the problems that all the sentient beings will have. And that was evident because we see all the different beings in the different realms are able to use the Dharma to better themselves, to overcome themselves, to even get enlightened, to be awakened. So the Dharma, it fits for all the living beings. Not only that, but in the future, where there is a lot of diversity, there is a lot of equality, this Dharma works out even better. And this is something that I've always talked about. I think that Buddha isn't just, a scientist in a way that he knew or he taught us many things about the universe that we didn't realize until many, many decades and many, many centuries later. But Buddha was also a person of a sort of a philosophist, where he knew that in the future, the world would be a lot more equality in the world. I mean, there's still a lot of inequality in the world, but now people talk about human rights. People talk about equality. People talk about, diversive, that we have to have this diversity among the people. So that's what exactly the Dharma fits, right? The Dharma did not say that it only works for the people of high class or the people of a certain class or the people of a certain background. It fits everybody. It's equal. In the third section, we talk about how the disciples must do, what the disciples must do to become the future teachers. And that is to be diligent and to keep their minds open and to be observant and willing to learn. If you're not observant, you will not know what your students need. If you're not willing to learn, you'll be lost in time. The 12 links of causes and condition are one of the key parts where it's very important to understand the teachings. And the understanding of the teaching is to deeply understand, one of the key part is to deeply understand the causes and conditions of everything. And the 12 links basically ties everything up together in that what you have right now is what you did before. And what you will have in the future is what you're doing now. And this ties in very closely. This ties in very closely with, well, if you are going to be preaching this Dharma in the future, what must you be preparing to do right now? In order for the Dharma to be surviving in the future or thriving in the future, we must have the right people right now. The good students of today need to become the good teachers of tomorrow. How do we do that? So in section 5, we talk about great guiding teachers. And these are the disciples. They need to learn to be the teachers and not just the teachers. They need to learn to be the great teachers that the future needs them to be. And so how do they do that? Well, we provided many examples. They must be the learning fields for the students. Many times, it's not easy for the students to learn. So the teachers must be the learning fields themselves. They will be the vehicles where the students can learn. For example, the silent mentor program is such thing where the teachers themselves will offer their own body, physical body, so that the students can learn from them, even when they're in the absence of any other learning vehicle for the students. And I think that was one of the key things about the great guiding teachers. It's not just about the materials that the teachers teach. It's also about the character. It's also about the characters that the teacher has that marks the great guiding teacher. Next, we have all the great bhikshus who are arhats, and we have a lot of examples of the great disciples that were the great teachers. And one of the key things about this is that they are all from different backgrounds, and we talk about diversity. And we're also learning that they are not perfect, yet they're able to become wonderful disciples and the great teachers. And now we're moving into the praises. Now, before we move on to the praises, there is something that's important, and that's the attitude. In order to be the great teachers, you must prepare one's attitude. You must know that you're not learning for yourself. You're learning to be the teacher. You're learning for the future generation, and you're learning to continue the teaching. It's like if you know that you're learning for a specific test, then you are going to make sure that you make special attention on the parts that's going to be tested. Same thing. If you know that you're going to be the future, the teachers of the future, then you know that you're not just learning the material, but you're learning from the teacher right now how to be a teacher, what kind of questions that students have. How do you answer them when the student have these questions? That's all going to be very different. Section 8, we talk about the great lore of sages. That's when the actual praises begin. The lore has no defilement. Lord Buddha has no defilement, no contamination, no attachment. We talk about the fragrance and the permeation, the permeating of the air. So this week, on the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, we're going to be into section 9, which is a little bit more philosophical. These are still in the praises of Lord Buddha. And we're going to try to get in here we're going to try to understand what all these means slowly, because this section actually is, I think it's probably one of the most abstract, most philosophical, and most of all the chapter where it's really something that can be expanded in the mind, but a lot less on the substance. So let's look at what was the content. His body is neither existent nor non-existent, arises from neither causes nor conditions, and does not discriminate self from others. Now, this is the beginning. It's already part of the praises of the Lord Buddha. But I really think that this section particularly is the praises for the Dharma itself. It's no longer just talking about the Buddha. It's talking about the Dharma itself, the true teaching or the truth. So Master says, in Buddhism, when we talk about existence, we're referring to things that permanently exist forever. So what we're talking about here is that the body of the Buddha is neither existent nor non-existent, meaning it doesn't exist forever. It's the same. The same for the Dharma itself. The physical manifestation of the Dharma, the pages, the paper that you write the Dharma on, or the books that printed the Dharma itself, it will not exist permanently forever, right? So just like the body of the Buddha, just like the physical manifestation of the Buddha, it's not going to exist permanently forever. And that means the physical body of the Dharma itself is not going to be there forever either. However, it arises from neither causes nor conditions. Because it was not created, it was not created because of a cause, because of a condition. It has always been there. Just like the idea, the Dharma itself wasn't created. It has always been there. The truth, the teaching has always been there. We do not say that the Buddha did not create the Dharma. The Buddha made us. He became aware, awakened to the existence of the Dharma that was all around. So he made sure that we are also awakened to realize the Dharma that was all around us. It's not so much that he invented the Dharma. Rather, he discovered the Dharma was all around us. It's like the scientists who discovered electricity. He did not invent electricity because it has always been in existence, in nature, in our world. He just merely discovered it. So that's why it's neither, first of all, the physical manifestation of the Dharma is not permanent, yet it has always been around. It was not created. There was no cause of its creation. There was no condition for its creation. It was always there. And the Dharma is very equal, right? Equality. There's no discrimination. So when it comes to existence or non-existence, we must not cling strictly to existence nor absolutely to non-existence. So what does that mean? It means that we sometimes care too much about, well, when did it begin to exist, right? This is something that we always ask about. In the sutra, it always talks about in the beginningless time, right? Or in the time with no beginning. Well, how can you have time with no beginning? You must always have some type of t minus 0 or t minus 1, and then t equals to 0, right? This, in scientific terms, that's what we always have. But when it comes to existence and non-existence, right? So we are always trying to figure out right? We're claiming something that we can put our hands on. And that's something that's more of like a physical manifestation. We want to hold on to it like, oh, when did this happen, right? The United States declared its independence on 1776. Oh, so we now know that was 200 years ago, right? Or more than 200 years ago. We claim something strictly, like when was this person born? When did this exactly happen? We are doing this because that's something that we can wrap our minds around. But something like Dharma or even Buddha, eventually in the Sutra of, in the Lotus Sutra, we learn that the Buddha has always been a Buddha. It was just that in the year 2,500 years ago, he showed this episode for us so that we have something to talk about, so that we mark ourselves that that was the beginning of the Buddhahood, when in fact it wasn't true. It was something that we cling on to. It was something that we sort of grab onto, and then we said that was what happened 2,500 years ago, because that's what we cling on to. Okay, so hang on. Okay, so that's what we were always thinking. We cling on to something because that's something that we can hold on to. But that's not true. Not true for the case of Dharma. We always try to think about, well, when did it begin? Somebody must said it first. Well, no, it has always been around without anybody saying it. You don't need somebody to set it in order for it to exist. And that's why it was neither cause nor condition, right? So we use this something, we use this body, we use this event to say that now it begins, when it doesn't really need a body or an event to mark its existence, right? So we have a book on nature, the first, or the book by Darwin, right, on evolution. Does that mean that's when evolution begins? No, the evolution began long before the book happened, long before anybody talked about it. So the teaching of the evolution didn't, well, the truth about evolution happened way, way, way before. Yet the teaching of it began when the book started, or when Darwin began to, explain this through his theories. So what this is trying to tell you is that the Dharma is like this, and the Buddha was also like this. And we must not be so fixed on, well, when did it first begin? No, you tell me. If you cannot tell me, then it must never really happen. That's usually the scientist in us will be talking. And that's usually the wrong approach to think about this. Okay, so the key isn't about what exists or not. It's about, now we know that it's there, right? Somebody discovered it. What can we do to use it? That should always be the key. Now that we know that it's here, and people made great discoveries. People made great discoveries. They made great work to figure things out. And rather than going to the source and say, well, when did it begin? How did it begin? It's impossible. If you don't tell me that when it begins, then it didn't really begin, right? If you cannot tell me when he was born, then he must really not be born. I mean, that was really the fallacy of it. Because very often we find it so difficult to focus on the problem. So right now, I will bring you to, before we close out for today. I mean, it's really fast, right? 30 minutes already gone by very, very quickly. But before we close out for today, I want to bring you to this attention, right? This is the aftermath of the Los Angeles fire. I was in the States in early April, and I went to one of the wildfire sites, and this is still what we're seeing. So we're still seeing all this, and I think less than 10% of all the places that were burned was cleaned up. It was still very much in ruins. Most of the things Sometimes the fire skips, sometimes it doesn't seem as bad, but that's just how it is right now. And I remember we were having, why, if you think about this, right? The earthquake in Myanmar, if you tell me that this is what's happening in Myanmar, I would believe that. But if you tell me this is in the US, 3 months after the fire, I find it very difficult to believe. I mean, how can you still have this in ruins 3 months after the fire? And this is Los Angeles. I mean, we're not talking about places far away, deep, in places where nobody lives. This is Los Angeles, right? Arguably the second largest city in the United States. Why? Why is this happening, right? Why is this still there? This is still on April of this year. This is still, I'm still seeing this. Why? It's still in ruins. People are not able to rebuild. What's the government doing, right? Why is that? Because we're not able to focus on the problem. What was the problem, right? At the very beginning of the fire, every time that it talks about fire, it's these two people. The person you see on the left is the governor of is the governor of California, and the person you see on the right is President Donald Trump. So you have Governor Newsom and President Trump. Every time you hear about LA fire, it's these two people blaming each other. And I'm not saying that's wrong. You had to find the responsibility, right? Somebody has to be accountable for the wrong, for the fire. Yet every time, everywhere in the news, it's not about the people that were relocated. It's not about the houses that were burned down. All those things were just there so that people can blame each other. So you have a Democratic governor that's possibly running for the presidency 4 years later. And you have the current president who is thinking about running for the third term. Every time that you hear about the fire, it's about these two people going at it and then blaming each other. How much compassion can you think that's going to arise in people when you have all constantly bickering about this? The second thing, it's about DEI. The people of California, they're blaming the fire chief. And why? Because they think that the most important thing on his or on her agenda is equality, is diversity, equality, inclusion, DEI. So he is not fit for his job. And the third thing that was always talked about was that it was Hollywood. People are rich. People are rich there, right? So why do you need to help people there? Well, that's not true. I went to the US. I went to see the people that were living in one of the fire were actually mid-income people. They're not rich. But in all the news, you don't see that. You see the people fighting, blaming each other. You see the politicians talking about politics. And you see the rich people, their houses getting burned. Well, so what? They got 5 houses, right? So you lose one. That's okay, right? We tend to be distracted easily. So all these things, we need to be very focused at the problem. And let's bring back to the main point here. We're always thinking about, when did the Dharma begin? When did the Buddha become Buddhahood? When did he become enlightened? When did he become awakened? It's like, if we don't know this, then it didn't really happen. It didn't really exist. That was wrong. We're always focusing on the wrong problems. The right problem for us to focus right now is, now that we know the Dharma, now that we know the Buddha, now that we have some way to practice it, we must focus on practicing it rather than always thinking about, well, when did it happen? How did it happen? If I didn't know about it, I can use it. I cannot learn it. That's not the right attitude. So that concludes today's sharing. Thank you. And I think we're going to get into something that's more philosophical in the next few seatings, but that's just going to be the more philosophical part. But I don't know, when we read this, we want to think of it, we want to treat it as we are going to get into the part where it's not just the praises for the Buddha, but it's the praises for the Dharma itself. Thank you.
Can earn so much, Brother Joe, for the very delightful, insightful sharing as always. And the problem of the world today is because leaders of the world are not focused on the proper problems, not even being able to identify them. Yeah, so thank you so much. If I can request for brothers and sisters to switch on your camera so that we can all take a picture.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Sister Mabel, can you please assist?
It's
Yeah.
okay, sister. I'll take the picture. Sister Mabel's on the way to Jingzitang. Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
please put on your best smile. One, it's okay, sister. I'll take the picture. Sister Mabel's on the way to Jingzitang. Okay, everybody, please put on your best smile. One, it's okay, sister. I'll take the picture. Sister Mabel's on the way to Jingzitang.
Rihanna's tweet.
Okay, one more. Okay,
Thank you.
done.
Thank you, Brother Joe. See you next week.
Okay, we're done. Thank you. Thank you, sisters and brothers.
Brother David, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you?
Very fine, very fine. Everything good. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you. We are so looking forward
Everybody
to
okay 啊？
冇問題。
冇問題啊！哎呀，你個好好喎。
哎呀，好好啊，大家都咁好啊。Okay, Brother David, we have got a long question for you this morning, if I can read it for you. Question one, yeah. Why was the earthquake in Myanmar so devastating, especially in such a sacred place? Why did it strike the Pure Land, home to many temples and monastics, a heartland where Buddhism is studied and practiced for centuries? Why did it happen while monastics were sitting for their exams? How could such a pure, holy place not be spared? Even 1,000-year-old temples were destroyed. Why couldn't these have been averted? 就是为什么在佛陀的地方有这个地震？
Okay. The disaster happened. It doesn't care you are Buddhist country or Catholic country or Christian country or Muslim country. So it nothing to do with what is your religion. Buddhist countries are not necessarily free from disasters. For other religions, countries are the same. 20 years ago, I think 21 years ago, I went to Sri Lanka for tsunami relief. The victims there all live in coastal area, and they are all Muslim because Muslim people in Sri Lanka are fishermen. So they live along the seaside. So they are the victims. And the Buddhist people, they live in the inland. So those victims they are not Muslim, but also they suffer. Same thing. The Twin Tower in New York, you remember, right? Were blown up by terrorists. And the victims are not necessarily Buddhist, right? So many different religions in these victims. Same thing, doing good deeds now may not necessarily bring immediate rewards. 你现在做好事不一定马上得到好报，也不一定嘛，对不对？但是不是不报，时候未到嘛，对不对？doesn't mean no reward. We have to wait for the affinity and timing, right? So what we do now is for the future. And what we suffer because of our past, 对不对？现在我们所 suffer 的呢是 we did before. 那 we want to know the reason why we get suffering. Then we have to know our past, what we did before our life, right? Then, so what we do now is for future. Okay? And what we suffer is because of we did before. So, and this future, we say, not in the, we do is for the future, right? And this future is not necessarily the far future, not far future. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow also is the future. So we need to understand this truth, And Myanmar, the Myanmar and Sri Lanka and Thailand, and they are all Buddhist country. They are all Buddhist country. They also have many disasters. Like Sri Lanka, they have tsunami, right? And Thailand also, they always have so many severe floods, big scale also, right? So when you say the such a pure land, holy place, how not be spared, that this means you have to take action, take Buddha Dharma into action. That's why I must always say, like Nepal and India, right? So poor country, right? And Nepal also, they suffer the big earthquake also, right? In Xizang, in Taipei, same thing. Qinzhang Gaoyuan in China, Qinzhang Gaoyuan. We went before, right? Those Buddhists is the 藏传的佛教哈。They're always turning the wheel by their hand. 转法轮the Dharma wheel. They always turning the Dharma wheel by their hand, And Master say, why they are Buddhist? And they are also always turning their Buddha wheel by their hand, but still suffer big disaster because I think also 20 years ago, I went to Taipei, Xizang Qinzhang Gaoyuan because of the snow disaster. Same thing in Nepal, right? They are Buddhist country, but they suffer big earthquake 2015. That means 10 years ago, right? But why they have this suffering? And although also they are Buddhist, sincere Buddhist. Why? Because even they are studying Buddhism, they are learning Buddhism. But the school they learn only for himself, not for the people. That's why I must say in Nepal, same Myanmar, the Buddhists there, they're always chanting. And there are so many temples there. And what they do only for themselves only, not for the people. So in Nepal and India and Sri Lanka, even Thailand, even Laos, those Buddhist countries, they are learning Buddhism. They are applying the Buddhism only for himself. 所以他们没有事项的，事项怎么讲？他有佛法没有事项 ，They have Buddha Dharma, but no 什么事项怎么讲啊？事情的事。But they don't do the 什么一般的没有做入世的工作了，没有做入世的工作了。
Yeah, Buddhism into action, never go into masses.
Yeah, they don't enter the mass. They don't enter the mass, enter the crowd to help the people. This is the root cause why they suffer the disaster. So this 这个才是真正的 this is the truth. Even you are the Buddhist, you have to see what kind of Buddhist. You are only cultivating yourself, or you are always take action for the other people, to help other people, to save other people. This is very important. That's why the school we are learning the Buddhism is a big vehicle, right? 大圣嘛 vehicle. Bodhisattva path, go into crowd. This is the main reason. That's why Master say, not only pray. You must do it. in Chinese we say 不是拜拜拜，而是什么？做做做。
Not
In
just
I think in Malaysia Chinese also have a saying, 有拜就有保佑嘛，right?
if
We
you
Chinese always say so, right? As long as you can pray, then you get the blessings, right? This is not right. According to Big Vehicle School, according to the Bodhisattva Path, the master said not only pray, but also take action. You always take action, help the people, save the people. Even you don't chant, still working.
So, Brother David, this is
Yeah.
precisely what Master has been telling us, right? We must go out, and just like what Brother Joe Huang was, sharing this morning as well. We are not just the students; we are learning to become teachers in the future, because this is important to purify minds, right? So, just like this question here,
Right.
why couldn't these have been averted? We can
Right.
only avert it if we purify our collective karma, 对吗?
Right. So, the 2,500 years ago, the Buddha teach all his disciples Buddhism. Those Buddhism is led the Buddhists to take action. This Buddhism not only let the Buddhists do the research. No, 不是研究了, not research, it's taking action. If Buddha know after 2,500 years, all the Buddhists just do research of his Buddhism, his teaching, the Buddha will be angry, This is not my 不是我的目的啦. This is not my purpose. The purpose I teaching people Buddhism is to let all of you can apply in daily life. Not take this Buddhism for research only. No, not research. So Master say, 我们不是佛理的理论家，是佛法的实践者。
对, so Buddhism must not be in words only, right? Buddhism
Yeah.
must be in our action,
Not by talk, by doing. So in Myanmar, same thing. So many temples there, but they're always chanting by themselves. They don't go into the crowd. They don't help the people, save the people. So they still have to suffer the bad karma. Right? This time, this earthquake is so serious. Right?
Yeah. But Brother David, a lot of people also talk about, chanting and all that, right? And
Yeah.
there is this thing about when we chant, it goes into the 10 directions, all beings, hear the chant. And hence, this is also a way to purify minds. So what do you think of that, though?
Simple speaking, okay? 简单讲了哈, we cannot say chanting is not good. We cannot say so. Because we are also chanting, right? Sometimes we are in a boat, we also chanting, right? But for us to say, chanting is something like asking road. Where is the road? Where to go? Only asking. Chanting means asking. But you must walk in, right? 行经啊, chanting 念经嘛，对不对？
对。
行经是问路嘛 ，taking action
Yeah.
is walking. After you ask the road to go, you have to walk, start to walk. Without walking, you cannot reach the destination. Same thing. So chanting is important, but taking action is more important than chanting.
So it is staying
Understand?
close to the Dharma, staying close to the Dharma, and put the Dharma into action. So whatever that we learn, we have to put into action. 对吗?
Right, right. Okay, same story, same story. Which sutra can let us 辟邪怎么讲？辟邪 to avoid evil，
Yeah.
对不对？是不是？
对。
可以辟邪驱魔的哈。哪一部经呢啊？Which sutra can let us chanting which sutra can let us avoid the evil? Okay, this doesn't mean actually which sutra can let us avoid the evil. This is not important. The key point is if you always keep your mind purified and you are also taking action, you are always doing the good deeds, even you don't chant, you still get blessings. But if you don't do good deeds, you are just chanting. All the sutra you chant is not workable. It's useless. Useless. Understand? That's why I must emphasize we must 行经啊.
Put the sutra into action.
Yeah, take sutra into action. Take Buddha Dharma into daily life. You must know how to apply it. Otherwise, all the Buddhism you learn become useless. Even how many sutra you chant, useless. This we call the true Dharma. We must understand.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, got it. And so we go to the second question.
Okay.
Okay. We noticed that some Tzu Chi volunteers from Penang are already serving in Myanmar. May we ask if this field of blessing can be extended to more volunteers as well? Given the severe damage caused by the earthquake, surely the need is great, and having more hands to help could bring even greater support to the country in this time of need. So, Brother David, 怎么说呢？
Okay.
为什么槟城区我们这里
我知道. For all the Tzu Chi volunteer, besides except Taiwan and Myanmar or Malaysia, nobody knows the truth. Okay, you just see from Penang, few people went there to help the Myanmar volunteers, right, to do the research, right, to do the investigation. But at the beginning of this Myanmar earthquake happened, the master already give us the guidance. This time, no foreign volunteer go to Myanmar. Master already give the instructions. That means even in Taiwan, we don't send a team there. No, you must know the truth. I let you understand. Our Tzu Chi Myanmar license was revoked after half a year of review. I think almost more than 2 years. Our Myanmar license, Tzu Chi license, was revoked. We want to renew our license, and the government say we need half an hour to review. 好像说考核啦 to assess whether to give you renew or not. No. Then after half a year, we are very sorry. License was revoked. This means that the usual activities are not allowed to be carried out in Myanmar now. You understand? From last 2 years, our Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar cannot do activities there. You want to distribute the material, cannot wear uniform. Even you cannot take this action because this is illegal, because your license was revoked by government already. You understand? So currently, our 2 local offices in Yangon were forced to close. Until now, 2 offices already closed there. You cannot use by the government. So this is the truth. Nobody knows. Very few people know this truth. So even we cannot do anything in Myanmar now. Even the home visit, the material relief is not allowed because of license. Okay, not only this kind so difficult in this disaster relief because the government forces and rebel still opposed, right? In between, even the disaster happened, they're still fighting. The domestic war still keep on going, right? So few days ago, these few Penang volunteer, together with the Myanmar volunteer, came back to Taiwan to report to master. Right? Seems so difficult. You know, at the very beginning of disaster happened, the Taiwan and Japanese rescue team already stand by there. I remember it's the next day after the disaster, right? But the Myanmar government refused Taiwan rescue and Japanese rescue to go there. Even these two teams are so much experienced for rescue. But Myanmar government allowed China and Russia rescue team go there. So you can see this is the attitude of the Myanmar government, because they are military government, right? They don't care about their people. Even our material sent from Taiwan, Malaysia. I think Malaysia also sends so many Fuhui right? You send so many material, bed, right? The functional bed to Myanmar, right? We hope we can distribute those material directly to the victims. But the local government said, no, you have to send to our local government. Let us manage it, not by you directly to the victims. It's almost more strict than North Korea. Before we went to North Korea to distribute the rice, right? The North Korea government also very, very tough. You know, you say, no, you give material, you give the rights to our government. We can distribute by ourselves. And our advanced team already arrived there, you know. And the big team still waiting in Taiwan. And Master received this news. Master said, no, I insist all the rices distributed by Su Ching volunteers themselves. Insist. Master more tough than the North Korea. And North Korea government eventually, okay. Since those rights are very important for us, right? Since you are so insist, okay, they accept our suggestion to deliver to give the rights by ourselves. But now these the Myanmar government, I think, still hard to negotiate. You know, they insist all the material must give the local government, even the central government. You know, so for outlook, we still did some material relief, right? But this very small scale. This is quite big earthquake, but what we do is still very small scale, you know, because we 绑手绑脚啦, you know, it's not so easy to do, you know, like normal disaster in other country, right? Immediately we send a team there. If the local volunteer no experience, Taiwanese team go there, our Su Ching team go there. All the emergency response operation done by Taiwan team, because Taiwan volunteer more experienced, you know. But this time, no. They don't have so many. We don't have so many volunteers in Myanmar, right? Not only the number very few, you know. They don't have experience for this international disaster. They don't have. But Master at the beginning already say this time we don't send the foreign volunteer go to Myanmar, because Master already very clear, you know. We just do what we can do, you know. But actually, it's not easy. That's why still until now, how many days already after disaster, still very quiet, right? Seems we don't do so many things there, you know, because of this environment is not so, it's so difficult. The reason is just now I say above, right? Our license revoked, right? And our usual activities already forced to close. Yeah. And now what we can do in this earthquake, because we have some consensus with government. Okay, you want to do it? Okay, do it. But they set so many criteria, and that you feel difficult to do it. So for you to say, well, why this so big disaster? Why we don't send volunteer there? Well, why only Penang few volunteer go there? And from Kuala Lumpur, more volunteer, more experience. Why they don't go there? You must get the consent from master. Not you want to go and then you go. No. This issue is quite sensitive for Myanmar. For Myanmar earthquake relief work operation is quite sensitive. So in Taiwan we keep quiet. See, nothing we can do, right?
Yeah, so like you said, Brother David, it's your hands and legs are tied, even though we want to go and help, but we cannot go against the rules, the laws, and Master always put, volunteers' safety and well-being ahead of anything, right? Unless
Depends on the situation. Depends on the situation. I know quite difficult. After this earthquake happened, I know quite difficult already. I know, because I know the whole situation in Myanmar. I know very well. Right. Not like Malaysia, We have good connection with government. We get the recognition from the government, right? And we also have so many experienced volunteers. Our team is Kuala Lumpur team is very strong. So everything seems good. So go ahead. But in Myanmar now, feels something difficult, all right? No license, the office closed, you cannot wear a uniform. Even you want to give the goods, you have to give the local government. And now, especially now, the government forces and the rebel, they're still fighting. This is very terrible, This country is not stable. For Master to say, Master doesn't want, she sent a volunteer to a very dangerous area for the disaster relief. No, Master, no. Master not agreed. So for outlook, we see this time we did very conservative. This means we are very careful, So we know one thing. What we can do, we seize opportunity to do it. Like this big disaster, we cannot do anything. Very difficult to do. Although this is a big opportunity, but we cannot seize because the condition is not so difficult. 所以可以做要赶快做。See, just like in Mindoro, right? You remember Mindoro, right? Mindoro is a small city, but they suffer the big floods, right? And they don't have the local volunteer, they don't have experience for this flood relief operation. If they give up, then everybody no opportunity to do it. But Mindoro has a very strong branch office, Kuala Lumpur, right? So the branch office Kuala Lumpur immediately urged the volunteer, more than 200 volunteers, enroll want to go there. Everybody booked the ticket immediately. Easy to recruit more than 200 volunteers to go there to help them. So these serious disaster happened in Mindoro, which we don't have so many volunteers, also no experience, but still can do the relief works very smooth, 很圆满, right? So this is a different affinity, right? But in Myanmar now, so big earthquake seems it's big opportunity, a big affinity to help more people in this big disaster. But what we can do is very less, because the government because of the 客观条件的,
because of the political reason, right?
because of the
So
Yeah,
even
the
though
objective conditions.
yeah, so even though we know that help are needed, but 没有这样的因缘, we don't have that affinity at that time, then
Cannot go.
we cannot do anything,
Yeah,
right?
cannot do anything. That
Okay.
means the Buddhism always say affinity.
Affinity, correct.
Yeah.
Alah,
That means even the poor family, you want to help them, must be they want to be helped by us, right? You want to help the family, poor family, must be this poor family accept we go and help them. You want to help them if they don't appreciate it. Why we go there? Why we go? Right?
next question, huh, Susho?
Huh?
Next question, how much?
Okay. Good.
Okay. Yeah, Tzu Chi volunteers are encouraged to embody the four infinite minds: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. But when experienced, volunteers dominate activities and make others, bracket newbies, feel sidelined. It can be discouraging. New volunteers feel like mere followers, unable to contribute or share their views. Is this truly the spirit we want to foster?
Okay, this very good question,
Yeah.
We are the group for cultivation. We are not the group of the company, even the big company, The enterprise company, they just focus on doing the things, making more money. But in this group for cultivation, we emphasize on 做人呐, cultivate your mind, This we call the 出世的精神呐. But because we are doing the good things by this group, in the group there are so many sentient beings, so many 凡夫啊.
Sanctioned beings, yeah.
Yeah, but we want to do so many things. We want to organize and to promote so many activities. Still, we have to follow the game rule, 游戏规则啊. So you can see in our Tzu Chi group, sometimes the leader is not so smart or so intelligent, or maybe they are not enough experience, but they are the leader. You have to listen to them. And maybe you are the talent people, so you feel something hard to do, right? Why my team leader, right, not so smart, but she or he will be the team leader, must has its affinity, right? Why so many people, but we choose him or he to be the team leader, must have affinity. Since he is the leader, this is we call the 游戏规则啊. This is the game rule, So you want to do everything smooth, you have to follow this 10 rule. For me, same. I have been doing volunteers more than 30 years here. I even have more experience than some other people in Taiwan, right? But I still have listened to him because he's the leader. I'm not leader, right? So this is not the important thing, because we come here not doing the things. We are coming here to cultivate our mind, right? If this leader, we can discuss with him very well. Wow, this is good, right? Right. I learn from him and he learn from me, right? Everybody learning each other. But if this leader insists and very stubborn, how to do? Then you have to try to train your mind, to cultivate your mind. Right? 依法不依人呐. What he said is correct. Okay, I follow you. What he said is not correct, but this is small things. Okay, follow you, no problem, because small things, right? But if something to do with the Dharma, 不如法, if the leader, what he or she instruct us to do is not according to the Dharma, Buddha Dharma, sorry, I don't follow. This in Buddhism we call 依法不依人嘛, rely on Dharma, not rely on human. But if in company, even the boss says something wrong, you still have to 怎么样讲？服从他。
To follow instructions.
Yeah, to follow the boss instruction or your boss instructions. But this is the group for cultivation. If the leader says something wrong, not 如不如法, we don't listen to him. Sorry, this is wrong. It's against the Buddha Dharma. We don't follow. But we don't follow is not strong way, very smooth, very nature. Yeah, 我们不看 we don't want to 冲突怎么讲啊？
Get into a conflict, yeah.
Yeah, we don't conflict with him. No, we still keep very good relationship. Okay, but we don't follow him because this is against Buddha Dharma. But if what he said is nothing to do with the Dharma, because he like this way, he is the leader. Okay, follow you, no problem. 无伤大雅啦 nothing important. Okay, 不要计较啦，就是这样子嘛。So this is the way we can 怎么样 we can uphold in the group. Yeah.
Maintain harmony in the group, right?
Yeah, always keep harmonious. Yeah. Of course, but one thing very important. If this leader, he has very good ideology, and what he instructs us is very correct and very meaningful, right? Then we can follow him. Now, not only we do the good job, we also learn from the job, because the Buddha Dharma in the work, 工作跟法结合在一起啊 this is the best situation. Not only we can do the good deeds, but also we can absorb the Buddha Dharma through the activities. This is the best.
So you integrate Dharma into methods, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
think
lucky Kuala Lumpur has a very good team, very harmonious. That's why you can see even your pilgrimage so solemn, right? And so many people, right? When I send this photo to all my group, they said, wow, well, this. I said, in Kuala Lumpur, wow, can see the Buddha Dharma very strong. This for the outlook, but nobody know behind this phenomenon how much spirit, how much effort you have done already, right? We call 内行看门道啊。
yeah. My experience is that, before the event, everyone is like may feel a bit lost, but I think ultimately we are with one mind that we want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So everything fall in place at the end, all the previous differences are kind of forgotten, right? You just focus.
For this time, the Thai TV station people go there, right? They can see from the details. Wow. Not only for outlook, small details we can see they are very mindful. That's cause the activity, all the volunteer are so strong. And then 那个什么，那个气氛很好，道气很好啊。
The environment, the
environment,
spirit, yeah.
Humanity 很到位啊。So everybody give your Kuala Lumpur so much praise,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Gan. Okay, we go to the next question, yeah?
Another one?
Yes. Should a highly diligent trainee be recommended for commissioning even though all criteria are met, but with arrogant tendencies? Yes or no? Why?
This happen quite often in our group. right? So many Chinese already finished all the 什么的课程的 course the training course, right? Everything good, but only he or she still has the arrogant tendency or habitual tendency, right? And maybe it's not so united with the team, right? So we are hesitate whether can recommend him to get the certification of the commissioner, right? Even in Taiwan also we have this problem, but we have to see how master think about this issue. So this is depends. For my experience, I already report to master few cases in Malaysia. Very nice volunteer. He already fulfilled all the training courses, but he has very bad tendency, easy to lose temper and not cooperative in the group, and even nobody want to be at the same team with him. We also have this problem. And master also know about these few Chinese, because they also come back to Taiwan very often to meet master. And when I asked master whether can recommend him, can recommend him or certify him, master say why not. And master asked me why the people in Malaysia you weren't allowed. Everybody say not allowed. Why? I said because they say this guy has a tendency. And master asked me, any one of you who has no tendency, But master doesn't mean have this big problem, but still certify him. No. Master say, okay, since he already fulfill all the training courses, right? He follow all the courses. Right? Okay, this is a good thing, right? But for his tendency, we have to let him know, to remind him. We want to recommend you to be the commissioner, but we hope can get your commitment, because you have your tendency, which is become a big problem in our group. But if you know you have this typical tendency problem, and you also have intention, you also have the intention to change, to improve, to repent. Okay, as long as we get your commitment, we still recommend you to be the commissioner. But we have to keep to get your promise. Try your best to repent. Try your best to improve. Enough. Whether you can improve, whether you can repent, it's the next question. But first question, we have to get your commitment. He said yes. Okay, I know. Okay, after if you certify me as the commissioner, I know my problem. I will try my best to repent this tendency. I will try to improve. Okay, go ahead. This is the smooth way to handle the Su Ching personnel issue. Very nice, right? Very wise, right?
I think yes.
Yeah. Don't say you still have tendency, so we cannot recommend you as the commissioner. You tell her you have tendency, but you don't have. Don't you have? You also have the tendency, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I actually feel that if somebody has the mind and put in the effort to go through the training, right? It shows that 他已经很有心.
Yeah. Before I go abroad to one branch office now. The 那个推荐小组啊 the team for recommendation, right? They told me, no. We cannot recommend him to be commissioner. I said why? Because 我们替上人把关. He said so. He told me this, you know. He said 把关我不会讲的. How to say?
Safeguard.
啊？
Safeguarding.
对，他说我们替上人把关了。
It's like guarding. Yeah.
好像 we control 了。
Yeah.
We control for master, right? I told him, please don't say so. Because master also never say she is controlling for Buddha. Master still very compassionate and very caring for all her volunteers and disciples, right? Master never say, I'm so strict to you because I want to control for Buddha. No. Master, she never say this. And how can you say so? I try to control the whole situation for Master. No, you better control yourself because you still have yourself, you still have your tendency also, right?
All our habitual tendencies. Yes.
Yeah, you also have your
And
tendency.
we are on the path.
Yeah, it is more important to control yourself than control other body, other people, right?
Fully agree.
Yeah. So this of ideology and comprehension is shows in the 理念啊.
Yeah, it's the mindset and the view, right? The perception.
Yeah. So this concept is real cultivation concept. Must do have all the personnel issue under this kind of concept. 你才会保持跟人家很圆融的。
对。
Right.
我以前也说，你的小鸡不及格，就是母鸡没有做好功课。
Yeah, right.
Right? I mean, if you know the person that you lead are not behaving, then as a leader, the problem is with you as well, right?
Yeah. True. Everybody have to repent or reprove himself, then to repent to brand other self.
Yeah.
Right?
我
Yeah,
们
okay.
很
Okay.
感恩 brother.
Well, just make 7:50. Just make.
Yes, just great, right?
On time.
And thank you for
Okay.
wonderful answers. 感恩 brother.
Have a nice Sunday, everybody.
Thank you so much.
No, today's Saturday, right?
Saturday. 感恩
Okay, bye.
Bye. Next, Shara, we have Sister Riyani. Sister Riyani, who has it's one of our champions on the CBI, helping to look after, the many families of the refugees who are in, not so good condition. So it's great that, we have you with us this morning, Sister Riyani, to share with us your experiences.
And so much, Sister Kapeng. So now I would like to share my screen, right?
Yes, please go ahead.
So now you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Cảm ơn so much. Okay. Good morning, brother and sister around the globe. I'm Riyani. Today, I'm sharing my experience, my journey that has deeply impacted my life. My involvement in this care-based intervention or CBI project for refugee starting back in 2017. This project actually initiated in 2016 under the dedicated leadership by Brother Andy alongside with Brother Dave Lim and Brother Wei. Later on, Sister Wan Chin joined as a team lead. For those that are not familiar what the CBI is, actually, this is only a short-term intervention by UNHCR for 3 months. And actually, it's only for the livelihood, not for the medical. This project has blossomed into a beacon of hope for thousands of families. I'm here today to offer you a glimpse into this meaningful work and hopefully can inspire you to join us. Okay. Sorry, how come is it jam? Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Okay. The CBI project begins with a simple yet powerful idea to provide a direct financial assistance to refugee families, empowering them to meet their most urgent needs with dignity. From its start in 2016, through the tireless effort of all the dedicated volunteers, especially the group leader and their team, this collaborative effort between Su Ching and UNHCR has reached an incredible milestone. We have now touched the life of over 4,000 families. Think about that. Over 4,000 stories of resilience, each one a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the power of compassion. As we can see in this table, we only start, when we start in 2016, we only have 144 cases. Then on 2021, we can see there is a huge jump, 819. Why it jumped so much? Because at that time, it's a COVID-19. Everyone actually, not only refugee, local, all walks of life, the life is affected a lot. At that time, we received a lot of call. I still remember our group lead or the volunteers who are daring to take this project, our phone ringing non-stop. It's like a hotline until the wee hour. But we are proud that we can help them. And we also can see on the right-hand side, this is an English group percentage. Actually, this CBI project is not only for English group to do, but entrepreneur group and also Su Ching also involved in this project. But English group take the most cases. Over the years, being part of this project has allowed me to witness countless moments that have stayed with me. I've seen firsthand the immediate relief on a mother's face as she receives support to buy food for her children. I've also listened to the story of family who have endured unimaginable hardship, yet hold on to hope for a better future. Today, I would like to share 3 stories. 2 is how we help minors secure shelter and food, and another one is one family already successful resettled to the US. The first story is Ali. Ali is an Afghan boy. When first he arrived in Malaysia, he only, I think, 14 or 15 years old. He has so much pain and traumatic experience that made him forget everything, even his address. He totally lost contact with the family in Afghanistan. Can you imagine a young boy so small, alone in Malaysia, without support, without family and friends? Luckily, Sister Su Ching and the team take this case and continuously give love and warmth to Ali. I remember Ali is full of anger. We can see it from the face, full of anger and cannot control the temper. He always have a trouble with his peers. But with continuously love from Sister Su Ching and the team, Ali transformed into a young man. Now, he is successfully resettled in US. He even have a YouTube channel, which inside the channel, you have a lot of motivational and inspiring video based on his own experience. And you can see, actually, his video helps not only refugees, but also volunteers. You can see in this screenshot, Sister Su Ching used the video to help this Somalian young man. Initially, he was so down, but after watching video by Ali, he's inspired. Although Ali is not physically there, but through the video, Ali is like stand with us to care for refugees as a volunteers. Then another one is also a screenshot by the volunteer said she had depression, but after watching Ali video, she thought things are the worst for her, but Ali video let her see hope. Then the next one is the story of a young boy also. Is from Myanmar. He came from Myanmar with his brother when he was 9 years old. Then the brother married with Indonesian and puff, just disappeared. He has to fend for himself. This case actually is taken care by Sister Lisim. Then one day, he texted Sister Lisim during COVID time, saying that he wanted to study. But as we know, during COVID, it's very difficult. But in one of the photos that this boy sent to Sister Lisim noticed there's a thick Myanmar English dictionary. And she felt that he is very serious about studying. At the time when we know this boy, he's already 16. When we try to connect him with the Suka Society. Suka Society is the NGO that help children to get to access to this school. Suka is rejected him because he said it's too old. And we try to enroll him to the religious school, but religious school also said cannot accept him and said wait until COVID is over. While waiting for the school that can accept him, Sister Lisim found him a job in a glove factory. This boy complained a lot. He said, this job is 3D job, but it's dirty, dangerous, and very difficult. And he's also starving because he don't have money to eat. But Sister Lisim is very wise. He talked to the manager and to ask advance money for him so that he can take a proper meal and do a good job. The manager is agreed. After some time, then one day, Suka called and offered this boy online class. But because he don't have the laptop, one of our brother Benjamin, give him a laptop to facilitate his study. So you can see in this screenshot, he said, never in his life he see the computer. She is so grateful to Sister Lisim. And this boy is very diligent in his study. And he even won a Math Genius of the Year. He's aspired to become a doctor. Because of his good result, Suka recommend him to go to the El Shaddai shelter. That changed his life. Now, this boy is already in El Shaddai, so earn a stable income to take care of the shelter home. Actually, this girl is from the El Shaddai. This is Rahmatullah now. When I talk with him, I can feel that his English improved tremendously. And this is the sharing of one of our Pakistan family who are now in Houston, Texas. We also had the joy of seeing this family successfully settle in US. Even after moving on, they still reach out to us, expressing their gratitude for the initial support that helped them on their journey. This photo actually is taken in her living room before they left for US. On that day, this Sidra, the lady is called Sidra. Sidra wake up very early in the morning to cook for us. Yeah, her specialty Pakistan meal. He treats us like a royalty. A lot of foods. When we see the foods, we feel so touched, and it is very delicious also. When we know She need to wake up so early just to prepare the food for us. It feels so touched. And also, see, when you see this photo, we are wearing this blouse. Actually, this blouse is handmade, tailor-made by Citra. She told us that she cannot offer us anything, only this that he can do. And we really cherish the blouses, and we are so happy, and we directly wear it over our uniform and take photo together. And you know, actually this photo, she bring it to US and put it in her living room. You can see here, see closely, actually this photo is this one. She told us she want to bring this photo to, I want to put the photo in her living room because she want to, she want to remember us because she treat us like her own family member. And whenever she passed through the living room, she will see us and she feel like we are there together with them. And this photo is just recently she sent to me. She brought the only daughter to a nearest temple, Buddhist temple, because she want to let the girl know that this is Buddhist temple, which Su Ching volunteers, we are Buddhist, so she want to let the girl know this is our teacher, Ida Sakyamuni. Feel so touched when she sent me this photo, and meaning that she really have the heart and remember us. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. This girl actually is holding a bamboo bank. At that time, when we went to the house, the girl have a full, the bamboo bank is so full, and she told me that she will bring this bamboo bank to US and continue the habit by placing money in the coin, and which she did, she does until now. Okay, now next. I've also witnessed something truly remarkable within our volunteers team, which started as a small group of dedicated individuals, now has grown into a strong and vibrant community of 30 regular volunteers. Month after month, these selfless individuals dedicate their time and energy, never missing an opportunity to serve. Their unwavering commitment is a testament to the power of collective compassion and the deep connection they feel to the refugee family. This is our strong, dedicated volunteers that never miss. Every month, sure, they will come to serve. And below photo I would like to share is our latest this picture taken on March, our first major mock for this year, and the turnout is amazing. It's 130 participants. We are so happy because now more and more people know about refugee and they care about refugee. Actually, this 130 participant is not only from English group, but it's also from entrepreneur group and the Su Ching. Then, I'd like to share, last year is a new and heartwarming chapter in our journey. We organized our first tea gathering, or we call Riyani, for refugees living in Stapak and the surrounding area. We were truly moved by the overwhelming response with almost 100 refugees and volunteers coming together. It was a day of connection, sharing, and mutual understanding. Why we chose Stapak area? Because in Stapak we have a dedicated group led by Sister Lacim and Brother Guan, where they always deliver dinner for this refugee, starting from 2022 until now. They already delivered more than 10,000 bento box. That's why they already have a pool of love, an accumulation of love and a deep connection with the refugees in Stapak. You see, this is the group photo. Actually, it's not all is captured here because the hall is a little bit small. But as we can see, everyone is so happy, even with the refugees also smile brightly. Then this is I want to share as one of the most poignant moments when we are seeing refugees who themselves have very little, but they are bringing their bamboo bank to donate. It was a powerful demonstration of empathy and desire to give back, even amidst their own challenges. This simply act deeply touch all of us. This is not only this refugee give back the bamboo bank, but it's quite a lot, but we did not capture everything. Then the next picture that I would like to share, actually this is the bread. The bread is made by a refugee called Sister Fadumo. Sister Fadumo wakes up 4 a.m. in the morning that day to prepare the bread for us. Even she has very little things, but she really have a heart of gold that would like to serve every one of us. She said this is the way that he wants to repay our kindness. We are so touched when we eat the bread. I still can remember how sweet it tastes. During the tea gathering, we also took the opportunity to share important message about environmental responsibility, encouraging active participation in recycling and promoting vegetarian diet as a way to take care of our shared planet. It was inspiring to see the refugee embrace this idea. We also served them a delicious vegetarian feast, which they love it. We can see it from the face of this refugee. They really love the food. And so coincident, the next day is our recycling day. And we can see the seed sprout very quickly. These two, this is a Sudan refugee and this is I think it's for Syrian boy, came to help in recycling center to help to load and unload the things in the lorry. This sister is a Somalian lady also shared how she is so happy when she's helping in recycling center. She says she met a lot of good people and she also learned new Chinese word, ni hao ma, and also how to say sorry. When at home, she feels so depressed. But when she's in the recycling center, she feels so happy because she's surrounded by the positive people and can hear the laughter. So it really lifts up her mood. Oh yeah, I forgot to share. On that day, actually, we also heard a powerful testimony from the refugee themselves. They share their experience of how Tzu Chi support had been lifeline during their most desperate times, providing them with the means to eventually become self-sufficient. Their story of resilience and gratitude underscore the profound impact of the CBI project in restoring hope and dignity. Actually, the boy that I mentioned earlier, the Ramatullah, the Myanmar boy, was there to share his story. And his story is really inspire all the members there. It's not only refugees, also inspire us as volunteers. This is my last story I would like to share. As you can see in this picture, the picture on the left and the right. It's very stark contrast, right? This is first, this picture taken when I'm the one that giving the cash assistance to this grandma. This grandma actually has a chronic heart disease that need operation soon, but the cost is very, very expensive that we cannot afford because as I told you, CBI money actually is only for their livelihood. And that day, her face is so sad and so gloomy. But when you see the next photo, this is when Sister Chin came to her house. Sister Chin not only deliver money to this grandma, but she talked to them like own family member, spend a lot of time to chit chat with them and cheer this family up. You see, Now the grandma smiled so brightly and happy. Sister Chin and the team and Brother Graham also see cuddle on the baby, treat them like their own granddaughter. This grandma daughter is called Fatima. Unfortunately, on the 3rd month, the grandma already passed away. But the daughter is so touched by Sister Chin Yen's action to give love to them, and she writes this to Sister Chin Yen. No words can express how grateful I am for all your gift, support, and help. I'm glad to meet you and your team. Thank you is the only thing that I can say, but it's from the bottom of my heart. When Sister Chin Yen sent me this, I feel so touched because you see, actually, we only spend 1 or 2 months with them, but our presence really impact them a lot. And when you see this, this is a Jingsi aphorism that Sister Chin Yen gave to them. And she put the Jingsi aphorism just in front of the late mother photo. And this Jingsi aphorism, and here, if you can see closely, is a bamboo bank. They take it. These 2 things are the things that never forget when they move to a new place. You can see Sister Chin Yen already plant a seed of kindness, and it is forever remembered by this family. And this is the photo also I would like to share. And Sister Chin Yen share about the bamboo bank spirit. When we see closely, actually, all is content of a banknotes, not a coin. When you see this, then you can relate it to 上人精髓. Unconditional giving is not a privilege of the rich, but an utmost sincere love. And so coincident, actually, this Jingsi aphorism also Sister Chin Yen sent. This is the Jingsi aphorism from this one. Sorry, sometimes I'm very emotional. Brother and sister, the journey of supporting refugee is an ongoing one, filled with both challenges and immense rewards. I have shared with you just a glimpse of the impact we have made and the inspiring story I have witnessed. But there is still so much more to do. I sincerely invite all of you to become a part of this meaningful movement, whether you can offer your time as a volunteer or contribute financially through Su Ching, or simply spread awareness about the needs of refugees. Every action makes a difference. Let us work together to extend compassion and support to those who have been displaced and are seeking a chance to build their life. Cảm ơn so much. This is all my sharing. Cảm ơn.
Can earn so much, Sister Riyani, for your really heartfelt sharing of many, many stories. This is precisely what Master has been telling us, right? Going out, inspiring love and giving hope. And this is also what, Brother David talked about this morning. Not just chant and pray for the world, for world peace, but actually we have to be the one to bring peace, to bring love, and to inspire love in others. So it's very, very heartfelt. And I also remember a CBI case where at the last distribution, it was very sad to tell the family that this is the last time that I'm coming here to give you this money. One of the daughters, she was prepared for me to visit that day. And at the end, she said she had something for me. And she actually danced for me, and it was really beautiful. But it is sad that, I mean, there is no continuation, and hopefully, they're doing well now. So thank you so much for your very heartfelt sharing. So brothers and sisters, we still have 3 minutes. If there is any question for Sister Riyani, please go ahead. Any one of you?
Actually, I would like to promote. Next week, next Saturday is our major mob, and actually we are still like our volunteers lah. So if possible, come to join us. Still have time to register.
Okay, Sister Riyani, you may want to tell them how to register.
Okay, I will post the invitation link, or I will post it in the chat group, or how?
Yeah, I think maybe you put it into the English group.
English group.
Yeah, chat group.
Actually, we already posted earlier, but I will repost it now,
Yeah, after your sharing today, hopefully you have inspired many more people.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much. And so we will come to the close of today. And if I could invite all to put your palms together, please stand. We pay homage to Buddha and Sangren and Masters at the Abbot. So first bow, second bow, third bow, and a bow to the Master of Abbot. Thank you. Can earn so much. Brothers and sisters, see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And so much.